Right. Right. Today we are going to discuss about
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
yeah.
Your voice
Okay.
is too slow, sir. Actually,
How is it now? Is
not.
it okay?
Yeah, no, it's good, sir. Your voice was clear.
Right. Right. So coming to next scenario. Today we are going to discuss about introduction part of the database administration. See, in SQL Server, we can play two types of roles. They are developer role and administrator role. Because you go to maximum project, what happens? 3 different layers will be there, like this. 3 different servers, minimum servers, maximum that depends. This is known as development server. SQL server developers are going to work with this environment and they're going to develop the database. So database development means what? Creating tables, writing commands, writing queries, stored procedures. These are all comes under developer role. After finishing development, this database goes to QA. In QA environment, test engineers team will be there. They are going to test the database developed by this team, developers. So in this scenario, after finishing testing, generally what happens, in testing, if they are facing any issues, they found something wrong, then they will send it back to development team, right? And so they'll rectify it. So this is a common scenario between development and QA. After finishing testing, this database will be transferred to production environment. Okay, this is our production. In production, DBA team will be there. DBA is going to take care of production environment, right? And so now coming to next scenario. In this environment only, we are going to store end users data. So now we have to discuss here. So Swami Ravindra is your friend, right? Ravindra K.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He joined.
Yes.
So coming to please give a minute, Ravindra. Yeah. Coming to next scenario, here we have to discuss some points regarding end user. So end users means customers of the project, right? And generally what happens, we develop databases to store customers' data, no doubt. So in this scenario, application will be there. Application is going to connect it to database. Through application only, data will be stored in the databases. That's what happens. I'll explain that also. Don't worry. Okay, now. So now, next scenario. Production environment is really important for us, right? Because in production environment only, we are going to store customers' data, end users' data. Coming to development environment, QA environment, they are going to work with only test data. Got my point, Andy? So, of course, we are going to take care of development and QA also, but the configurations and supporting activities we are going to perform. So they're all related to production environment only, because it contains customers' data. That's why we do configurations and we receive support tickets to this production servers only. Coming to next scenario. In this environment, database administration, two different scenarios you are going to work out. That is configurations in the same way, tickets. So configurations you are doing means monitoring must be there. Am I right or not? You are configuring something. After that, you have to monitor whether that configuration is working fine or not. That's what we do, right? In the same way, tickets means issues. Because generally what happens, users are going to work with your databases. In that scenario, if users are facing any issues, they will send a ticket to you, DBA team. So we'll discuss more on that. So now this ticket contains complete issue related information, error. So we have to accept and we have to resolve. So let us discuss some scenarios related to configuration. I said like configurations. What are the configurations there in database administration? See, right from the beginning of the installation, who is going to take care of installation? DBA only. Some people say that SQL Server installation is related to Windows team. If Windows team is going to install SQL Server, then why DBA is there? Am I right or not? So our task is going to start with installation only, no doubt. We have to take care of everything related to database environment. So installations, then database creation. Backup jobs we are going to work out. Right, next. After that, security related. I'll discuss all of them, Chaitanya. Okay, na? Let's continue with this flow. Security related information. I mean, giving permissions, creating new logins, providing permissions, canceling permissions. These are all comes under security related scenarios. And coming to next scenario, DR plan implementation. This is very important for a DBA. DR plan means what? Disaster recovery plan. The reason is, suppose you are working with some production database, of course you are taking backup. Backup means what? Copy of the data. Copy of the database. Why we take copy? Security purpose. Suppose your database is failed, then we can recover it from the backups. That's what we do generally. But that is not enough for production environment. The reason is, suppose you are taking backups from the database and your database is failed, you are going to recover it from the backups. It takes time, right? At that time, database is unavailable. We call it as downtime. So generally, we are going to work with clients, right? So if downtime is there in the production, they will not accept. Otherwise, what to do? You have to minimize downtime, because you cannot stop failures, database failures, right? It happens, but still, as soon as possible, bring it back. So for that, we are going to work with the DR plan, disaster recovery plan. That means you are creating duplicate environment for production. So if you lost your production, you can use duplicate as production. That is the scenario. High availability configurations, lock shipping, mirroring, always on. Right? In the same way, replication concept is also there, but that is somewhat different scenario. So anyhow, disaster recovery plan, high availability, these are all major configurations of the database administration. So maximum, they are used to implement or configure duplicate environment for the production. So there is some difference between them. That's why we have multiple configurations for the same purpose. So in the coming sessions, we are going to work with them practically. And coming to next scenario, here thing is, we are going to work with the migration, upgrade. So migration means generally deployment process, go live process, database refresh process. In these scenarios, generally we do this thing like what we call migration. So there we have to transfer databases, transfer logins, transfer jobs, different things. For that, we can use some tool called as SSIS. SSIS is also from Microsoft Corporation only, but basically it is ETL tool. It's not related to DBA. See, it is not at all related to DBA, but why we are using, some of the tasks from SSIS are useful for database administration. 3 to 4 tasks there around in SSIS. They're really useful for database administrators. So those things also I'm going to discuss in this training. Right, Anya? So along with this, we have a lot of other configurations. That's why you are doing configuration in the beginning. After finishing configuration, what to do? You have to monitor. Monitoring is also really important, because you configured some scenario. For example, backup job. Backup job means what? Scheduled task. Suppose you scheduled some backup. After scheduling backup job, you have to monitor it, because if that job fails, then you have to resolve it. You have to take care of that, right? So this type of scenarios will be there. Okay. So now coming to next scenario, these are all configuration content. So a lot of other scenarios there, I'm not typing here. You can see them in our website. Okay, you can see course curriculum, course content from DurgaSoft website. So coming to next scenario, I said ticket based work. What is this ticket based work? See, for example, you are working with some client. Suppose this is your client place. Assume that your client is from USA. Now what happens, whatever the databases, database servers your client is using, they'll be there in the client place. Generally, sometimes it will be there with you also. I'm not sure about that. General scenario I'm giving. Okay. So generally what happens, so you are working with some client means some users will be there. Right. We call them as end users, application users, customers, client side people, different names there. With the different names you can call them. Right. So when they are working with the databases, when they are using your databases, they face some issues. Quite common scenario, right? They face some issues. So now what happens, for that DBA team will be there. Right. So you are going to maintain some system and you are going to maintain some ticket to tool also. So remaining things common and so in this scenario, what happens, if your client is right and so what is ticket to tool, I'll discuss. Don't worry about that. So if really your client is facing any issues, they will raise ticket. So that ticket goes to your ticket to tool. So now ticket to tool is for, I mean, it looks like your email, not only more options will be there, but it is, it is for client communication regarding tickets. That is the only purpose. So you are DBA, right? So you'll get account in the ticket to tool. So you receive ticket into your account. Here thing is you have to accept ticket, then you have to resolve issue, close ticket. This is what we are doing. So generally what happens, you are in different location and this is in different location, database server. See, you're going to connect it to server. You'll check what is the issue. So their error message is very important for us. So based on error message only, we can find out what is the issue. Based on that only, we can go for resolution. That's what we do generally, So every day you are going to receive some tickets from the client and you have to work with those tickets. And here one more important point, something like, we have some concept here, SLA, service level agreement. Generally, it is between your client and our company. So Based on SLA, ticket priorities and ticket resolution timings will be defined. Right, and suppose, of course, different companies maintains different SLAs and different resolution timings. That is different scenarios, right? And but I'm going to share you some information here. Suppose you received P1 ticket. Immediate resolution is required. Generally, P1 tickets means critical issues. Database is offline, server down, right? This type of issues comes under critical issues. But priority, I mean critical priority tickets, we are not going to receive every day, right? And then we have P2 tickets, priority. P2, what happens, you know, they will give you 48 hours time for the resolution. So then P3 ticket, we can get some more time, like 4 days time. P4 ticket, you can take 1 week time for the resolution. See, tickets, priorities, resolution timings are not standard. They are going to vary from organization to organization. But we are using some scenarios. So just I'm giving you those scenarios for understanding purpose. Because without discussing SLA, ticket priorities and resolution timings, you cannot understand these things, right? Most of the time, DBA, you are going to work with the tickets only. You are going to accept tickets, resolve tickets. That's why some priority must be there. Client raised some tickets means some priorities will be there, no doubt. So you should know what is the meaning of priority and what is the meaning of resolution time also. Right? So when I'm talking these things, some of you, generally new people, feel like it is target job. It is looking like target job. Can we work with this job? This type of things will be there, questions. Basically what happens, you know, and if you are perfect in practical area, practically, not theoretically, then you can easily work with this environment. I'll tell you the reason. Very strong reason. Maximum scenarios, what happens, you know, we are going to get same type of tickets. That's why even it is suitable for non-technical people also. For example, you are programmer. Every day, Dorian, if you are programmer, every day you will get new requirements. New requirement, and DB also gets new requirements. I mean, new tickets. But I'll tell you the scenario. Developer or programmer, every day they have to write new logic. Logical thinking is very much required. Right? And okay. Coming to administration, in the beginning you face some difficulties because you are new to environment. What happens? You're going to face some difficulties. Not issue, confusion. But if you are practicing well while training this training, then you are not going to face even those things. You are confusion. Right? So, coming to next scenario, now DBA. What happens, you know, maximum cases we are going to receive repeated tickets. I'll give you a simple example. I'll discuss something related to security. User connection. 18456 error. What is the error? 18456 is the error. See, when we are going to receive this 18456 error, for example, users are trying to connect to SQL server, but they're not providing valid login or valid password. Then they will get this error. Standard error. Anytime any user, any scenario is not providing valid login name, valid password, they will get 18456 error. Clear? So you are going to work with this type of ticket in the beginning. So then what happens beginning means this is completely new to you. But so we are discussing in the class more scenarios related to tickets and issues we are going to discuss in the coming sessions also. So if you can remember these things, okay, fine. If this ticket comes, check error. That's why error message is really important for database administrator team. What is the issue? How to find out that based on error message only? You have to read that error message. You have to understand that. Even error number is also useful for us, you know, error code. Because now you are resolving this issue. Next time, if same issue comes, then same resolution will be there. Am I right or not? In that way, it is really easy for us. Even configurations also, I said like mirroring configuration, replication configuration. Today you configured mirroring only. After that, you have some other environment where you are going to configure mirroring. Same steps will be there. Am I right or not? So, if you are practicing well, if you are ready to spend time for practicals, while learning this course only, you just maintain practical knowledge. Because database administration means maximum what is there in configuration, so monitoring, ticket resolution. So everything is practical oriented only. Am I right or not? That's why
Yes, sir.
better to maintain practical knowledge from the beginning. I do one thing. See, when I'm giving demos, I'll ask people, if you don't have time for practice, don't attend class. Because it is completely practical oriented. Right? And so you don't need to worry about tickets because we are going to learn some. Of course, see, sometimes you'll get new tickets also. Then you have to work accordingly, right? So these are really important. You just remember 2 points. You just keep 2 points in your mind when you are working as a DBA. 2 different scenarios you are going to work out on: configuration monitoring, tickets. You know one thing, configurations are not daily activities. They are not daily activities of the database administrator. For example, you take installation. When you do installation in the beginning of the environment setup only, you are going to install SQL. After that, every day you are not going to install SQL. Am I right or not?
Yes,
So,
sir.
even database creation also only. In the beginning of the project, we are going to create database. After that, every day we are not going to create database. So generally, when I'm talking about configurations, you are new to this environment. That is the reason you feel like, hey Bob, every day we are going to do configurations. What is this? No, it's not like that. But remember, every day you are going to monitor the things. It's mandatory for database administrator, no doubt. Right? And so this is really important for us. So coming to next scenario, sometimes we receive some tickets, and not sometimes, and every day we receive tickets related to performance tuning. Or I'm sorry. Right. What they say, boss, I have long running query. Suresh, what happened? Right? See, previously it was taking 10 milliseconds for execution. Today it is taking 30 milliseconds extra time. They will raise the ticket. A query is taking long time for the execution. So we call it as long running query. In the same way, long running stored procedure. This type of tickets, performance means speed and accessing speed. Performance tickets maximum we are going to receive related to performance. Here some questions generally we get here. Suppose we are going to resolve issue related to query. We are going to resolve issue related to stored procedure, but we are not developer. We don't know anything about stored procedure. We don't know anything about query because you no need to work with those things. They'll be done in the development environment only, right? So now the question is, intelligent person will ask this question, definitely. Do I need any development knowledge for a DBA? Of course, but not complete, and somewhat. Especially how the query works, what is query, how the stored procedure work, what is stored procedure, index related scenarios, what is table, what is view. This type of thing is more than enough for us. And next step, in DURGASOFT, if you enroll for if you enroll for SQL DBA, you can attend SQL Server complete training and developer training, but timings will be different. This DBA class is going to start from Monday morning 8 o'clock. In the beginning of this session only, I discussed this point. Right, and so SQL class will start next week. We will give you timings also. We will give you link of the SQL developer class also. Even you can ask, you can join SQL developer also, right? And so this is what we are going to do in this training. Okay, now. So now tell me if you have any questions related to this training, please. You can unmute and talk to me. And before that, this guy, hey Carlos, Ari, what's going on, man? You are attending a lot of demos, but you are not enrolled for anything. Gion, Carlos, right? You're Carlos only. I can find out your name, man. I have around 20 years of experience. Right, tell me any questions, please.
No questions, sir. We are good, sir.
Okay. 1 second, please.
No questions, my side, sir.
Okay, no problem. See, there is some question. Not matching. This time will match or not? 8 o'clock morning India time. I'm talking about India time. Carlos. Is it works for you? Morning 8 for regular. Okay. Let's do one thing. And one more thing. Chaitanya, Ravindra, Swami. Can we do one more session tomorrow, same time, morning 9 o'clock? Is that works for you?
Yeah, sure, sir. Definitely.
because Monday onwards, I'm directly going to start with the database creation. So if we can
Sure,
do
sir.
one of our class tomorrow, I can show you some practical scenarios so that directly we can start with the database creation from Monday, if you are okay, right?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. I am okay, sir.
Ravindra okay, and Chaitanya is also okay. Can you attend Carlos tomorrow same time like today, morning 9 India?
Sir,
We'll see.
I have request you. Is there we can schedule before half an hour, sir? In everyday session, 8:30 or 8 a.m.
8 a.m. only. Regular class is going to start at 8 a.m. 8 to 9 daily 1 hour session.
Yeah, it's fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, now right. See, Carlos, payment that and all you can talk to training team. I'm just technical person only, but that we'll see. That is not the problem. Payment is not the problem, but timing is important, Carlos. Okay, na? To set up timings, and we'll meet tomorrow also. Same link, morning 9 o'clock India time. Tomorrow is Sunday, but still you're all ready. So I'm also ready. We'll do one session tomorrow also, morning 9 o'clock. Okay, na? Right,
Okay, sir.
Okay, then. See you tomorrow then. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, sir.